Hello guys and girls, it's Nick Dutch here yet again. What I thought I'd do today is just to show you the way in which I do my work. You guys know I'm a professional tarot reader. That's what I do for a living. Of course, the tarot reading is an entertainment service that provides the therapeutic benefit of a conversation and occasionally other weird things happen in a reading situation as well. I've had to do a few changes. I work on liveperson.com as well as keen.com. And I've got both my listings on the nickdutch.co.uk website. Now, for me, when I start my day, I've got this kind of setup here. Got my regular telephone for incoming calls there. Got my tarot cards there. So if I need to listen to a bit of music whilst I'm waiting for calls, I got my stereo equipment there. And that box, I just keep my tarot cards in when I'm not using them. It's just a margarine container, but you know, it serves purpose because the original box that these cards came in was basically collapsed and burned basically not too long ago. Okay, my ever-present coffee cup, I tend to keep at a reasonable level of fullness. I got my electronic cigarette equipment there, and so that's basically, you know, my desk setup, because it's just me talking to the whole wide world. Okay, that's essentially all of that. And then beside the desk, I've got my computer with all of its crazy wiring, and here we go. This is the IT operation of my of my business. So essentially, that's where I do the telephone work, and I come over here to do the internet chat readings. Got my snuff tin there. I know you guys must think I'm a terrible nicotine addict. Well, actually, I'm just a nicotine addict. Okay, I don't think you can have a terrible nicotine addict. I'm just a nicotine addict. What else we got here? We've got my keen.com account, so I can log out of that when the internet chat window comes up to say, you know, it's time for you to do a text chat reading. This window I keep open. This is where I do my YouTube viewing, when I'm waiting for calls and I'm thinking about, you know, what else to post or which video to reply to, and so on and so forth. At the moment, I've got another website up there. I don't know whether you can see that. That's eAcademy, which is a business networking website. Now, the reason I've got that up there is because I've just started getting a little bit more proactive with my own marketing, my own PR, and getting more links out. And I'm using eAcademy as a means of doing that. So, obviously, if you're on eAcademy, connect with me. That way, it'll be cool. And it gives me the opportunity to put Twitter links out to anything that I post in the form of blogs. So this is basically, you know, the way it is. That's basically how I start my working day and or night. The work of a tarot reader is not like any other job that you'll end up doing. You know, I mean, you don't wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, get yourself washed and breakfasted, leave the house by 8 o'clock so you can arrive at the office at 9 o'clock, be nice to everybody, do your job, have your lunch break, be nice to everybody again and do your job for another half day, and then leave and go home. A tarot reader's job, if you're working online, over the internet and over the telephone, is basically a 24/7 job. Most of my client base is in the USA when I'm working via Keen and LivePerson. However, I do work on another company which is purely UK, but that one, you know, I use that as like a part-time job. They pay it in a different way. They pay weekly, so I can use that to try and stagger my payments for like my direct debits and any other payments going out, and know when I want to go shopping, when the mobile phone bill is going to go out, and all the rest of that. So that's essentially how I keep myself alive doing this work. But essentially, it's the moment I've finished a meal, I have to log back on again. Okay, and yes, I can have my entertainment going on in the background between calls, which is okay. But on the other hand, for me, there's always that anxiety, because the moment the phone goes and, you know, someone is demanding a reading, and I'm sure they're all praying they don't get that card. That's right, it's a lightning struck tower. You know, I've got to be ready to be the right person to provide them with the service that they want. You know, all the blood's got to be rushing to the brain. I can't be digesting after a massive meal. I've got to be ready. You know, seriously ready, mentally ready, physically ready to be able to provide this this entertainment service that my clients are after. And it's pretty engaging work. It requires a lot of tact, a lot of discipline, requires a lot of compassion, and it can be quite hard, because some of the hardest stories in the whole history of humanity you'll end up hearing. If you're someone who watches YouTube videos all the time, you may get a very I mean, it's a good window on the world, but it's only a very limited window on the world. When you're hearing people like coming out with all of their pain and all of their suffering, you get a completely different perspective on life than you do when you're reading people's blogs on the internet or watching people's videos. So for me, I'm really reaching out to people who've got very serious life issues and require like an awful lot of real help. Some of which I can provide, some of which I cannot provide, and I have to be very honest about what I can help with, what I can't help with. But it's usually during the course of the discussion, which they're having with me, because they don't feel they can have it with their friends or their family or their employees or employers. They don't feel good about calling a counselor, because sometimes it's not necessarily a problem which is suitable for a counselor. They will then come to me. Okay, so yes, we deal with what you might call middle of the road problems, but there's often a wide variety of other complexities that makes the job much harder. So you do really build up not only a bit of a thick skin, but also a good sense of knowledge of what the human condition is about. Now, by this month, November 2009, I've actually been doing this as a job now for a total of 3 years. All right, and it became full-time basically after about 6 months of me starting. So it's 2.5 years full-time. All right, 3 years total of me doing this professionally via the internet. I mean, I've been doing psychic fairs and other things, and I've been going on ghost hunting trips and all the rest of that before. But now I'm primarily focusing on the internet as my primary means. So now what you've got as a viewer is a brief glimpse of what my life is like when doing this work. All right. So I'll bid you, good fortune and God bless. Look after yourself. If you need me, there'll be links in the sidebar, and I'll look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye for now.